Tamika Mallory and Linda Sarsour, who organized this event, have been highly criticized for anti-Semitic statements and also for the fact that Tamika Mallory would not condemn Louis Farrakhan's statement about the Jewish people in the state of Israel. How do you reconcile their apparent hate speech by Louis Farrakhan and their failure to condemn it and then being here today?
One woman doesn't represent all women. She doesn't stand for the entire movement.
Irrelevant to the cause. None of the women here care about that.
Some mistakes within the leadership don't define the whole movement, and the movement as a whole still has a lot of good points, and there's still a lot of work to be done.
Do you condemn those anti-Semitic statements?
Of course, 100%. Of course. And I would say that you would find everybody here that would be true for everyone.
As someone who's Jewish, I'll say that us showing up isn't in support of those anti-Semitic comments, barely even in support of those leaders. It's in support of ourselves.
Do you condemn Tamika Mallory and Linda Sarsour?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're the leaders of this movement, and I think the leaders of this movement are looking to reach goals, and they have to do what they have to do to reach the goals.
I think the Women's March is larger than those two individuals. I think that they do not speak for all the women here.
No one said anything today anti-Semitic. So we're working with today, the here, the now, the present.
It's better to be a bad feminist than no feminist at all. So I think that it's important that even though one person does something wrong, that we still come here and we show up and we represent what we want to see in our government.
Interesting outfits. Fox News contributor Sarah Carter joins us now, along with Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce. Now, you were there in one capacity.
Yes.
Sarah, we'll start with you because you were interviewing the people at that particular march. They didn't seem to care, a lot of them, about real radical anti-Semitism, and you also mentioned the things that they had said. What else did you glean out of this experience that we sent you through?
I think it was shocking, Sean. For me, it was really disturbing that a lot of the people that I spoke with didn't just take a step back and say, absolutely, we condemn it. It's completely anti-Semitic. You know, I brought out the statements that were made by Louis Farrakhan. I asked them directly, do you condemn these statements? And so many people had such a difficult time actually saying that they condemned the statements. And that was what was really disturbing. On the other hand, there were a lot of young people marching. Some of them didn't even know what was going on the week prior. They didn't even understand what the controversy was about. Others just wanted to stay away from it altogether. And some, on the other hand, did say they did not condone it, they did condemn it, and that they were showing up anyways because this was part of their cause. This is something that they wanted to be a part of.
Yeah, Mallory,
Despite
one of the organizers,
leadership,
referred to Farrakhan as the greatest ever, when he's probably the biggest anti-Semite in the entire country. Let's go to Linda Sarsour, another organizer. She's known to praise and support Sharia law. She said, remember Ayan Hirsi Ali, who was a victim of female genital mutilation, a victim. She says she doesn't deserve to be a woman deserves to have her female anatomy taken away. And then when she's confronted about it, she blamed the Jewish media. It doesn't get any more anti-woman than that, or anti-Semitic and racist than that.
Ayan's personal experience, of course, is extensive. And she was being condemned because she was speaking honestly about the problems with radical Islam. And that if you care about women, that's something that we all have to be able to be honest about. But what's interesting, certainly about the march, and this speaks to, I think, also the American sensibility, Americans want to go out and have an impact. That's clear. Young people, I was doing it, of course. It's a wonderful, exciting thing to do. You want to make a difference. The problem is that they are being used by fraud. That they're being used by people who say, oh, we understand this, we agree with you, here's what we're going to be doing. And it becomes, when they will look back, as I have done to some degree with my leftist activism, is you think about the time that was wasted. You think about the grifters. You think about the fraud.
Maybe a part of it's Winston Churchill-ish. if you're 20 and not a liberal, you don't have a heart. 40 and conservative, you don't have a brain.
But what I think Sarah's report showed us was that there's no information flowing into those individuals, even immediate news from the week before, let alone historical answers about how women have gotten here, what we're facing now, what we've overcome, the things that unite us. That's what the focus can be. Who we are now in the 21st century.
You had a counter protest. How did that go?
That's right. Independent Women's Voice. It was great. I mean, our message was, look, there are problems that we've got to overcome, but it's the 21st century, and it's time to come together. Right? The argument and this rhetoric about dividing us and that there's an enemy and that everything is, you've got to go after people who want to put you into a camp or they're, it's the Handmaid's Tale. That's archaic, and it's also not true. Our message was coming together is what makes the difference.
Sarah, how do you go to a women's march when you have one of the organizers that supports Sharia, which abuses women, kills gays and lesbians, and persecutes Christians and Jews? Many of these countries.
Well, the American people, and especially our youth, are being disenfranchised by journalism today. They're not hearing the truth. They're not having access to the truth. We really need to start educating ourselves, Sean, and the anti-Semitic behavior of both Tamika Mallory and Linda Sarsour is incredible. People should understand that. And unfortunately, a lot of young people went and marched, and they had no idea what was going on with their leadership that day, and that's truly unfortunate.
By the quick addition is that the liberals who went by our march, our rally, were nice. They recognized we were nice. They liked our signs. They expressed dismay at the hostility that was happening across the street. And a thing for conservatives to remember, be out there, meet people. Don't let them isolate you.
If I go out there, I'm going to be... You really want to hang out with me if I'm out there? You want to hang out with...
Not on the subway, but we should absolutely go out and talk to people.
Of an army of security and every one of my martial arts partners. All right, good to see you.